So everybody knows that there's maintenance that goes on when you have a camper van, a travel trailer, a fifth wheel, or a Class A or Class C vehicle. We have a number of items that we just need to do some maintenance on.
I'm Rick,
I'm Vera.
and we love to travel.
And while we've visited countries near and far, in 2022, I bought a camper van.
The goal was to travel and see the country.
This is our journey. We need to hang up some lights. We need to reinstall the curtain rod. We have privacy panels and the Velcro that attaches to the plastic material has come undone. And so we need to re-glue those areas. We have our bug wall, which is great. It keeps the bugs out. However, we've noticed that at the bottom of the bug wall, there may be areas where we can tweak it a little more in order to make it adhere or magnetize to the side of the van. So we're gonna bring you along, show you what we're doing. Hopefully you'll be able to maybe take some of the tips that we've used here and use it for your own application. So this is the glue that we got the recommendation for at the hardware store. And then here is the project that I'm working on, which is fixing these Velcros. So you can see here where the Velcro has kind of come away from the wall. So I need a solution for that. And I did buy some stronger glue. Hopefully that I can just put the glue back there. If not, I'll have to take it out and redo it. And here is the other little area that has come undone. So we're gonna take some more of that glue and reattach it. Here is the other Velcro. We gotta fix that too. So I just attached it to the partition and I'm gonna leave it, maybe give it about 24 hours to see if it re-sticks, and then hopefully that will resolve that. So I have re-glued the back of this to here, put the glue right in there and just re-secured it. It feels like it's pretty solid, but you know, time will tell. With the van, you know, you're going through extreme temperatures. In the wintertime, it gets pretty cold in here. And then in the summertime, some of that glue just kind of comes off. So I'm testing to see whether or not this will work. Fingers crossed. These are the lights that we're gonna store under the garage, and hopefully that will give us a little more lighting under there. So when we open up the door, it'll automatically come on. So this is the motion censored light. Here are the two that we're going to add. And there's the cord to recharge them, and it comes with two magnetic plates, two extra, and then here is the instruction manual. So first, I think we will make sure that they are fully charged before we put them in their location. So here are the instructions. We're supposed to tear off the blue strip and then attach it to the U of the magnetic strip, and then tear off the adhesive tape and stick it onto the surface. So that's what we're gonna do. Alternatively, it does say that I can attach the light directly to a magnetic surface as long as it's metal. So I'm gonna take off one and see how that works, and you know, ultimately we'll figure out what works best. So this is where I'm gonna attach the motion sensor lighting for in the garage, and that way whenever we open up the garage door, we can have some lights that kind of come on automatically. So this is the passenger side, and then if we come all the way over to the driver's side, right next to, you can see up there, there's another little ledge where we want to attach it there as well. So that's what we're going to do, and hopefully it just snaps to it. Perfect. Okay, I made a slight adjustment and just clipped it to the top of the underside of this metal plate right here. And let's see. And there we have it. That was really easy. And we'll see once we begin to use it. I'm going to put it in auto and we'll see. So here is the other one. Just, oops. And there we have it.
This was a short ass cord. That's what this was.
And then we'll just put that up there. And it's already set to auto. So it should go off. So this is what it looks like on the driver's side. Installed. I think I'm gonna shift this down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And this is what it looks like on the passenger side installed. So I have another project, which is reattaching the curtain rod to the back of the van. And in order to do that, since I don't have something to attach the curtain rod to on both ends of the van, I had to come up with something else. So for the upper cabinets, I'm going to use this little brace and just attach it on either end and then put the curtain rod through it. And then also I have a very strong magnet, which I'm hoping I can put at the end of the curtain rod, and it will magnetize to the van, and that will hold everything in place. I had a workaround, which was just duct tape, but you know, it only lasts so long, and when you're in a hot van, the glue eventually melts, and the force of the road and the vibration will eventually shift it, and so that's why we're putting it back up. Again, I like the way the van looks with a curtain because it kind of looks finished. I don't really like the, you know, kind of raw, just looking at the back window or anything like that. So that's why I'm doing that. So I might also have to use some glue remover because the duct tape left a little film on the cabinet. And then I also got just some, you know, screws just to put it in. So again, I'm kind of coming up with this. You know, just I've been noodling around with how do I fix this so that it looks the way I want it to look, and this is what I came up with. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, back to the drawing board. We know how that goes. So it's a few days later and we are still trying to solve the issue of the drapes that we wanted to hang up. And the problem with the van is that it is kind of concave right here. So we ordered this little thing from Amazon in hopes that the curtain rod could sit there and then we could put this in the curtain rod. So we're testing stuff today. On this other side, we have the back of the upper bed cabinets that we have to account for. I think I found a solution, and the solution is this clamp. What is it called? A two-hole strap. A two-hole strap. And I got it from Ace Hardware, and a couple of little screws to put in. Not too deep because I don't want it to puncture the other side of the cabinet. So I'm hoping that this will give us the solution that we need. And you'll see those marks up there, right? That's just from the duct tape. So I'll have to clean that off. So as a temporary stopgap, I put some more duct tape just to hold this in place to see whether or not it would hold. And it appears that it will hold. So now all I have to do is just put the curtain rod in there and we'll see. So I put the VHB tape on this, and I'll attach this to the wall of the van once I peel off that VHB tape backing and place it back up there. Nothing?
Yeah, it is going through. Okay, good. Okay.
Came back out today to finish some of these projects up. So we are just following up with some of the things that we did, which is put in some more glue to make sure that the privacy panel adheres to the Velcro. We're going to install the lights, some under cabinet lights to give us a little more lighting in the cabinet today. And the biggest issue that we've been trying to solve is rehanging of our curtains in the back, because I like for it to look a little more finished. And so that's been kind of our biggest little project out here, is finding the right combination of tools and materials that will get the job done. Initially I thought, putting a magnet and then gluing the magnet to the curtain rod would work. That didn't work because of the way the van walls are built. They're kind of concaved a little bit up in the corners, so that helps with rainfall, but it doesn't help when you're trying to magnetize something that's really flat. So the next alternative was to order a rod holder from Amazon. The rod would sit right in here, and then we can still glue it. Hopefully this is the VHB tape, so it's supposed to be a little stronger, and hopefully that will help the rod to stay in place and not fall every single time. So that's the next step of this little operation. And hubby is just nailing in some tiny nails.
Screwing in.
Okay, screwing in.
We don't want a nail.
Okay, you don't want a nail. All right.
Some wood screws.
Yeah, some wood screws for a clamp that's going to hold the other side. So well, we'll see. Okay.
Right there?
Go up a little more on your side.
Right there?
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah.
Okay. Right there.
I think that's it. Okay, we finally got it in there, and this is what it looks like. It's just a strap with two very small nails that have been nailed into the side. Screws, nails. Thank God I have somebody that understands this language. That's in there, and that really works. So hopefully this will now keep it a little more secure. from the wood, but I think that will help it to stay more secure. Okay, it looks like the curtains are in place, and with the exception of a few just making it neater, it's working. I like it. And I like it because, again, it kind of gives us a finished look that we like, and it also acts as a barrier for cold and heat. So this is the back with the curtains installed. I just bought them from Amazon, like 20 bucks. 25 bucks. And the good thing about this is that we can take them down and wash them. And this is what the inside looks like now that everything is lined up and closed off. It seems like it might be an actual solution. I'm pretty pleased with the way it looks. And the other problem that it solved is we had grommets before along this top part, and what would happen is when we were driving down the road, you could just hear the grommets kind of banging up against the metal curtain rod. And so now this might give us a little more quiet as we ride down the road. So I like that as well. So one of the things we did the other day was just kind of come back and make sure that these Velcro were kind of glued in here, and it looks like they are staying glued down, which is great. I feel like this is an area where I'll have to just check ever so often to make sure that everything is still in place. And then we did it over here as well. So these are the lights that we're going to install under the overhead storage that we have. This is the area that we want to put the lights under. And the same thing for under here, right? Like up under here. So here are the lights. It comes in a pack of 4. These are 16 inches in length, and you can see that they're fairly thin, so they should not be too obtrusive. You can dim them, and they operate by a remote control, and they are motion censored, but we will usually just use them as, cabin lights. Here are the little metal brackets that we will adhere to the underside of the light, and then attach this underneath the storage box, and then put them in place. And then when we're ready to recharge them, we'll just take them down. Okay, so this first one, so we are going to, you hear it click. It literally clicked right in place, which is great. And here's another one that clicked right in place. And so when we're ready, we'll just pop it out of there and recharge them. Well, all right. And then you can see the brightness of those. Okay, and then we'll adjust them once we get everything up. There's no scientific method to put these up. I'm using the upper cabinets as a guide and kind of just going to put them in between there. So like right there. Right there. We have the lights installed, and I had to run a few tests. So there's the lights over there, and there's the light under at the head of the bed. You can make them a bright light, you can make it a neutral light, and you can tell it just changed it ever so slightly. And then you can make it a warm light, and then you can increase the brightness or you can minus the brightness. That's really cool. And then of course you can just turn them off. So this is the next phase of our little projects. We're gonna just kind of close off the area for the bug wall. The bottom of the bug wall is not magnetized, but the seams are. And so sometimes we notice that when we close it, it will add, there'll be just a little area where the bugs can get in. So we're gonna try and resolve that right now. Okay, so we're gonna peel this off and put it in the locations that we want to put it in. And so now we're gonna put the little magnetic tabs on it, on the bug wall, so that we can make sure that it will attach. We did one the other day and it seems to be working pretty okay. You can see this is the little magnetic tab, and then it just attaches to that little bar, that magnetic bar. So the next part is just going to take one of these little magnets, right? And you can see how small they are. Those are the dimensions down there. And we're going to take some of this goop, that's what they call it, and it's like a glue, and we used that the other day. And then we're going to take some clamps and then just hold them on probably for an hour or so. Okay, so we're just taking like a little dollop on there, right? And we're going to figure out where on here. So when this falls, it falls like right in there. So we're gonna put it like right where my finger is, right there. And then I'm going to take a clamp and just clamp it on there. Same thing, but like right next to it, so we can get the maximum amount of adhesion. No. Come on. Okay. All right, let's do that once more. Did you get the flub up in there? Mm-hmm. Good. All right, take two. So we'll leave this, let it sit there for a little while. Yeah. And then see how that works. Okay, it looks like we're done for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and keep watching for more travel related, van related videos. See you next time. Bye.